Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's again Lerato, and today I'm so excited to have a sit down chit chat with you about business. Something that I started thinking that it was going to be just a side hustle has grown so much to even surprise me. And so I just want to talk to you guys about how I started my business with 500 rands. I might actually even be overestimating, but I'm gonna try to bring in the figures to you because yeah, it literally didn't take more than 500 rands to start my business. In 2019, I was at home. I was a stay-at-home mom. So I had taken that whole year to raise my son and to focus on being a stay-at-home wife, mom. And that year was truly the most challenging, yet at the same time, it's the year that birthed some of the things that I am busy with today that I ended up doing. But in that same year, I started writing a prayer journal, and I had actually thought I'm going to launch it that same year because I felt the conviction to do it. And at the same time, the main reason why I was curating that prayer journal for myself was because I love journaling a lot. And so as a stay-at-home mom at the time and a stay-at-home wife, journaling was one of the ways that helped me stay mentally healthy. And it also helped me spend intentional quiet time with God. And I grew so much in my relationship with God because of that. And my mental health was strong. Like, I was a person who was so prone to depression and so on. And so I started journaling. I had a prayer journal. I had gratitude journal and so on. And most of the things that I was using, I had done them myself. Like for the gratitude, I was using a jar. I just went to the shop, I bought a jar, and I just labeled it, gratitude jar. And my husband and I would just write our things that we are grateful for daily and just drop them there. And yeah, it really was so helpful. And then when it came to the prayer journal, there were journals everywhere. There are journals everywhere. But however, I couldn't find the type of journal that I felt was gonna be, what can I say, user friendly for me, or a journal that had everything that I felt I needed for my quiet time with God. And so I started now curating my own. I started first by buying a normal notebook, and then I labeled it in how I like. I customized it to be a prayer journal while I was writing this one. And then I felt like, maybe I can just sell this in case there's somebody out there who would love to use the same thing that I'm using. Somebody who may find this interesting and may find it, what can I say, useful for their quiet time with God. And then I wrote that, but I didn't publish it then. I didn't sell it then. So fast forward to 2020, I thought, okay, this is the year I'm going to do it. But then at the same time, I had an idea that, starting this business, especially in selling notebooks and so on, was going to require more money from me. And so I was waiting for the right time to start. I was waiting for the time where I'll have enough money to start this thing, because I just wanted to start something that is perfect, have a perfect website or online store, have a perfect product in front of me that I bought from a certain wholesaler, or get like a wholesaling company that can print this thing for me in a more perfect way and so on. And so we all know what happened in 2020. The unexpected pandemic happened. COVID-19 came in. I stopped working. At the same time they had to let go of me, and then I was now at home again. And so you can imagine we were surviving with my husband's salary, which was enough, but I didn't want to over, what can I say, what is the word I can use, maybe add more to his burden by now going for all these business ideas that I have in my mind. Like, I always have a lot of business ideas. Yeah, but I couldn't do what I wanted to do in 2020 at the time. Plus, again, we were limited as far as what we could buy, where we could go. There was no shipping. And we know most of the people purchase their budget planners, daily planners, notebooks, and whatever it is, notebook related from China, from Alibaba and so on. And so for me, that meant that I cannot do that because there was no shipping. Shipping was not happening at the time. People were not able to fly in and out of the country, and so it had to take a back seat. But I continued working on it. I continued like tweaking there and there and so on and so on. And then now 2021, I was now working. I got a job as a teacher, and yeah, the job was great. And so I had so much desire to sell this prayer journal and just finally launch it, finally like put it out there. Wait, when did I print the first one? Okay, I'm just trying to think as I'm talking. And then so one day what I did, now we get to the figures that I used and how I arrived at that amount. But I said, warning, it might even be less than that 500. But I'm just going to use 500 as the max. So and then later on I thought, you know what, let me just print this thing for myself and see how it's gonna look, because I was looking for different people, different wholesalers that can work with me. I checked this other ones. First of all, I also published a lot of books through Amazon. I will talk about maybe how to publish for free through Amazon. Pray for me that I get time to do that. But yeah, I have published a lot of books through Amazon, and so I love it. The quality of books is amazing. For me, at least. I don't know for other people, but for me, I find it to be great. However, shipping to South Africa, the prices are a challenge there. And so I just didn't want to spend too much because, notebook business is not for me at the time, it was really not a business that makes so much money. So I didn't want to take the risk of investing a lot and being unable to replace my cash. And so I thought, okay, let me just try out other wholesalers around. I tried them, and most of them, they were charging me insane amount of money. However, they couldn't do the hardcover spiral bound I want. I also like gold on my prayer journals. I went to a local stationery shop, like your normal stationery shop where people go and print, I don't know, house plans, print and make copies, those type of places where, you do printing and so on. So I went there. And then I firstly, oh sorry, so firstly I had a printer that I had bought for like 350 on sale, right? But I didn't buy it for business, so I had it before thinking about business. And so hence it was not part of the cost. But I printed the inserts for myself because I needed color. There were some pages there that required color, and so they were overcharging me for that. And so I had to print it at home. And then I went to a local bookshop and asked them to bind it for me. So they bound it for me. I think for the cover, I paid around 20 something rand. Yeah, I paid around 20 something rand because one cover, so they were using a photo paper because I wanted a glossy cover. But the hardest they could have was the photo paper, your normal the one that they print photos in. If you've printed a thesis before, you probably might be aware of the type of covers I'm talking about. So they had that photo paper, and then I will put the thickness on the screen because I forgot. So they had that option, and then so it was around 10 rand something. So it was supposed to I was supposed to have the cover in the front and at the back. And then they also charged me for the plastic film. I think it comes when you bind, the binding comes with a plastic film. For binding, they charged me, for binding, they charged me 16 rand something. And so I paid 20 something rands, close to 20 something rands for the cover. And then to print in color, they were saying it's what, 2 rand something or somewhere there. It was around that, within 5 rands. So they had to print in color now. So that's 20 something plus about 11 rands or a little bit less for printing that cover in color. And then to bind, it was 16 rands, and then that it came with a plastic film on top. I will just put my first journal on the screen so that you can see what it looked like. And so I thought, people won't buy this, so I'm just gonna post it for myself. I created an Instagram page. That was the first thing I created. I didn't create a website because you can imagine it was so unclear who was going to be printing for me. So I didn't have a clear wholesaler at the time. So I just didn't want to just go all in and then establish an online shop and so on while I don't know who's going to be printing this for me. So I started the current Instagram page that I'm using. But I had like the first one when it was at 900 followers. Somehow somebody tried to log into it and just, I don't know, to scam or whatever. And then the Instagram blocked it. So I couldn't retrieve it because I had not used my personal details. And then I opened again the same account for the second time, and I had to start at zero. And now I think it has grown to 700 followers, 700 and something followers. And so I started that Instagram page and I called it Quiet Time with the Holy Spirit, because that was the name of my prayer journal, Doing Life God's Way, Quiet Time with the Holy Spirit. And so that was the name of the Instagram page, and I had intended to post inspirational post there about a time, spending quiet time with God, spending time with the Holy Spirit, all those type of things, and kind of share my journal and my journaling journey, those type of things. So I opened that page, and then from there I posted my prayer journal. And then people responded, "Oh, I love that prayer journal. How can I buy it?" And so on and so on. And I thought, "Oh, okay, why not just sell it then?" If people are interested. Because in the beginning I thought, when you have an idea, you have this perfect image in your head, and then you go on and then you can't really find a place that can help you meet that standard in your head, and then you think, "Oh, you know what, this is not gonna work, people are not gonna like it." But and then only to find that actually people like that thing that you think is not perfect. So I guess one lesson I can share here is that don't wait for things to be perfect. Start where you are. Start small. Hence, it's called small business. Start where you are, and you will grow with time. There are things that I know today that I feel that if I had to restart the business, I would do differently. And you know what? That didn't stop the business from growing. So really, it's not about that perfect picture you have. It's about what people really love and what helps people, and my product was helping people to spend time with God. And so yeah, people were like, "How can I buy that?" and so on. And I thought, I can actually sell it then, even if it's not what I had envisioned. And then so I started advertising it. I shared a flip through video on my channel here. I shared a flip through video on my personal Instagram account. And then I don't know if I used Facebook. I'm not too much into Facebook. And then when I launched, now I had spent that amount that I spent. So I can say to buy a ream of paper, it was like 70 something rands. So yeah. And then I also bought ink. Yeah, I bought ink. So the ink I bought, I think I already had it. So that was not part of the cost as well. So now I had that for less than 200 rands actually. And then I ran ads, Instagram ads, for 250 rands, and the people that I was marketing, that I targeted through that, were people within Gauteng, and I think a little bit in Cape Town and, other places. Let me not share my secrets, but I will share in a different video, maybe, that is talking about advertising and so on. But yeah, like I ran Instagram ads, and Instagram ads are also shared on Facebook. And last year, I feel that this year, Instagram ads have gotten so expensive. But last year, really, with 250, you could reach a lot of people. And so for me, especially because it was a small business, it was good. And so I spent within 500 rands like that. Then I ran the ads. Then I got people now ordering before I could go and print. So I had that physical planner that I had designed. And one thing I've noticed, which is something I can share, if you are somebody who's watching and you would love to start this type of business or another business, any type of business. One thing about our people, especially in South Africa or maybe in Africa, you can go online and find an app where you can show a mock-up of your product, but people always love to see the physical thing, because we have trust issues when it comes to buying online. In fact, running and growing an online business is more difficult because of the scammers that are out there, and so people tend to doubt and be skeptical about buying online. So you truly need to make sure that at least you have that one thing that you can show people and say, this is it, guys, this is what it looks like, and maybe run with the mock-ups as well, but if they can see that this is what you have and it's physical and this is what it actually looks like in real life, that's what people love. And so people started placing orders. I think within that 250 I truly had about how many did I have? I think I had 20 something orders, 26, I think, somewhere there. So I had 26 orders, right? And that was like in September, because I launched it and I was gonna ship from the 28th of September, I think. So I started running the ads in the beginning of the month and ran them all the way until the 28th, and then I got 26 people. And then from there I had more people, because now the account also was growing and I was gaining exposure, and so some people followed and ordered later on. So from that 500 rands that I used, the total income that I had was now around 11,000 something rands. Like, that's exactly what I made. 11,000 something. It's in the books, but I didn't just like open my things here to put the figures here. But yeah, like, so I made that, and it was so surprising because I was like, wow, I didn't expect that. So I managed to take that money I made and then was able to go and buy the resources I needed, and then I printed at home some of the things, especially the first 20 something I printed at home, and just went to the bookshop to just bind, and they bind it for me, and then I ship them to their owners and so on. And so yeah, guys, that's how I started my business with just 500 rands. And today, obviously, I then started thinking of being my own wholesaler, meaning that hand making my products at home. So I then had to now invest more. So I think we'll talk about that more in the next video. I'll talk more about, like, in now making an investment now to make my things from home. And so yeah, the cost obviously grew more than the 500 I had, because I just still wanted that vision I had, the vision and the quality I had. And so by making things myself now, I'm able to produce what I envision. There's still some few accessories I would like to add to my books, but so far so good. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Yeah, if you would like me to share more of this type of videos, leave a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one.